Hey, good morning, everybody. It is Tuesday, May 18th. This is your Tuesday walkthrough video. Here's what's on tap. We're going to continue talking about the sun. Yesterday, we got introduced to the layers of the sun, and we really focused on the core and how fusion is taking place in the core of the sun, and we need that fusion. It's basically the heat and energy source of the sun, and if it was not happening, it would not exist, and we would not exist. So it's pretty important. Today we're going to look more at the visible surface of the sun called the photosphere, and we're going to look at something on this photosphere called sunspots. So watch the Tuesday walkthrough video, read the page titled Sunspots, then complete the Sunspots quick check. I can explain how sunspots are different than the rest of the sun. Students will view the Sunspots slideshow. That's a tongue twister, and I will be successful when I've scored at least 3 out of 4 on the quick check. Here's the folder. So photosphere and sunspots, that's the page we need to read. When you go there, there's a brief little introduction paragraph. Make sure we read that. And then a slideshow talking about the surface of the sun. Yes, it's hot there. Not nearly as hot as the core of the sun, but it'll still burn you good. So go through the slideshow, some general information about the sun. Some general information about the photosphere, which is the visible surface of the sun. Some big things to keep in mind. These spots that we see, these are called sunspots, and they are a little bit colder, a little bit darker, and have a stronger magnetic field than the rest of the sun. They're still hot, they're still bright, but in comparison, they're colder and darker than the surrounding surface of the sun. And they occur in a cycle about every 11.2 years. Here we can see some pictures. This is a full picture view of the sun. We see some darker splotches. Those are the sunspots, and these are the up-close pictures of sunspots. Here we see a graph that shows the number of sunspots on the sun, and you'll see there's a pretty clear spike about every 11 years, and this is known as a solar maximum. There's the maximum amount of sunspots every 11.2 years. That'll come into play here in just a second. So solar flares, real quick, and coronal mass ejections, which you'll see me abbreviate as CMEs, are basically just huge explosions on the surface of the sun, eruptions of electrically charged particles. And an increase in sunspots causes an increase in these flares and CMEs. So the more sunspots we have, the more solar flares and CMEs we have. So when we're at these periods of solar maximums, maximum amount of sunspots, we're having the maximum amount of explosions on the surface of the sun. Here's some pictures showing close-up views of these explosions. Huge, massive arcs of fire and electrically charged particles. Here's the Earth for scale. So like just one of these on the surface of the sun would engulf the entire Earth if we were close to it. It's good that we're not. Here's a video you can watch of a giant solar flare eruption. Pretty cool. Another video you can watch. Pretty cool. But these massive solar flares and CMEs cause what we call a solar wind, which is a stream of electrically charged particles going from the sun to the Earth. When the electrically charged particles interact with Earth's atmosphere, it can cause things called auroras, also known as the northern lights. And it can also cause, when they're really strong, electrical grid problems and cause power outages. So not good. A really strong solar storm can definitely affect us here on Earth. And here's just some pictures and a video of some auroras. All right, another cool little video there. So then when you're done going through the slideshow, then head on over to the Sunspots quick check. Take a quick look at it. Quick look at the quick check. See what I did there. You get 2 attempts like normal. 4 questions out of 4 points. Pretty straightforward stuff. You got a multiple choice, true, false, and another multiple choice. Read carefully. You might get tripped up a little bit. So that's what we need to work on today. As always, let me know if you have any questions. Good luck. Bobolik out.